Warning: the following may contain adult themes, concepts, and languages. Be aware that there is a separation between the character and the player, even when the pronoun I is used. So, we're gonna go over the stuff before we begin. So the first thing is proficiency is not included in the damage roll. That's the big one, the one that we've been constantly doing. So your proficiency does include your attack roll, but your damage roll is just whatever modifier your weapon uses. So for example, my sword uses my strength. So the attack roll would be a d20 plus 2 from my strength plus 2 from my proficiency, but my damage roll is a d8 plus 2, my strength. So just remember that going forward, there is no proficiency to the actual damage. That was the big offender. There is
I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So if I'm using my scimitar, I have a +2 attack bonus, so that goes into my attack, obviously, and my proficiency. What about my strength bonus? Is that only for the damage?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, your strength
okay.
goes into your strength. Because you use strength, it does affect your attack roll. So you include your strength in your attack roll and your damage roll, but you only include your proficiency if you're proficient with the weapon in the attack roll.
Yes. So that means that I should be adding 2 for my attack bonus, because I'm proficient with it. So then I also get 2 proficiency bonus, and then I get 2 strength.
Yeah.
So I add 6 to my attack.
No.
That's what you just said.
You get 2 for your attack, and 2 for your proficiency.
So you get you'd roll a d20 plus 4 for your attack roll, and a d20 plus 2 for your damage, or a d8 or whatever.
When you're rolling for damage, you don't add your proficiency, which we have been doing all the time.
No, I understand, but for attacking, I have a special attack bonus particular to that weapon,
What
which
do you
is
mean
beyond
by
the
that?
proficiency. Well, a scimitar is something I'm proficient with.
Right, that includes
but
your
it
proficiency
gives
bonus.
It gives me a unique bonus for that.
Where?
That's separate from the proficiency bonus, isn't it?
Where?
Where?
In the player's handbook. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it, so
What under
I'll just
what?
go and take a quick look.
Yeah.
Is
it under?
Yeah, give us some
Druid?
specifics so we can help.
Yeah,
see.
I'll look it up while you continue. Then.
Okay.
Sorry.
So we're gonna go over the you want to get my monitor up? We're gonna go over the house rules now. So I'm gonna remind everyone of the current house rules and go over the new ones. So long rests, you regain half of your hit die, minimum of 1. You regain all your spell slots, and you regain HP equal to rolling half of your hit die as normal. So, for example, if you have 4 hit die, you've spent all of them before the long rest, you would gain 2 hit die back, and you would roll 2 hit die, plus your constitution, of course, for both of those rolls, and that's how much HP you regain. And comparing that to a normal long rest, you would actually gain all of your HP. So it's nerfed. Dying rules. So we made a slight modification to this. So when dying, your character is considered to be unconscious, with the exception that an attack within 5 feet is not an automatic critical. There is no stacking critical, so even if they get plus 10 to your AC with a critical hit, there's no double critical there, so you won't suffer immediate death. And then allies can give the help action to give advantage on the death saving throw. Standing from prone, this is going to be the new one, which may or may not come up, at least for a little while. Standing from prone in range of an enemy melee can cause an opportunity attack. The opportunity attack does not gain advantage from the prone status. For each successful opportunity attack, the target can make a dexterity saving throw with a DC of 10 plus the attack roll minus the target's AC for half. The prone target remains prone if the opportunity attack reduces its speed below half. The prone target may disengage as usual and cannot save on a crit.
Basically, in the normal rules, if you have been knocked prone, so you have been knocked in a position, you end up immediately.
Yeah, it costs half of your speed.
The enemy, and yeah, you could stand up immediately, and the enemy couldn't do anything about it. That in itself is kind of weird, and to us it's not useful. You can still get away without getting damaged, but you have to use specific actions for that.
Yeah, basically, if you want to be completely safe to get away, it would use a, it would take an action to do so. But once again, you can still save for half damage. The idea is as you're getting up, you twist your body out of the way, away from most of the blow. Any thoughts, concerns? No? Okay. So...
For any repeats?
Yeah. Disarm distance. So this one's a little... especially for my character, who will eventually learn probably the disarming attack. Disarming typically drops the weapon at the enemy's feet. Technically, you could interact with it with your free interaction, but I think that's kind of dumb because it's at their feet. So what we've decided is the amount of 5 feet squares a successful disarm can send an item in question is equal to the modifier for the weapon used to disarm, not including proficiency. It may be sent in a direction which is reasonable for the disarm, typically a 180 to 220 degree range centered in the direction the disarmer is facing. So, for example, if you're using a weapon that uses strength, and you have a +2 modifier for strength, you would be able to send the weapon 10 feet.
Normally speaking, you could disarm an opponent, and when it's his turn, he could just basically grab his weapon again and still attack you.
Yeah.
Which makes disarming someone pretty much useless.
Yeah, theoretically, I've seen this argument up, is that what you could do in that instance is actually use your free interaction with the object to kick the item away, but it's at their feet, and to me that just seems really odd that they would be able to do nothing about that. They could just as easily step on the item. Theoretically, this is obviously not turn-based, but why couldn't they just step on the item versus me having to go to their item? So it doesn't make any sense to me, and kind of like a logical procession.
Could we have it then that if you do disarm somebody and on their turn they pick it back up and attack you, could they roll with disadvantage?
No, because that would be awkward, because that you're allowed to pick up an item, a weapon, as a free action, period. So we'd have to change that for all.
Oh, okay.
Like, we'd have to do that for unsheathing a weapon. We'd have to do that for all that type of thing. So that would make it a little bit weirder. This is a little this is a simpler mechanic.
And it makes a decent amount of sense. The stronger you are, the more dexterous you are, the better you are at disarming someone, and the further the weapon will go.
Right.
So since my strength modifier is -1, it would just not move?
No, because if your weapon uses dexterity, you would then use your dexterity.
Oh, okay.
And even if, I doubt you will get the disarm skill.
Yeah.
Well, it depends if you allow for the variant disarming rule, which is basically we attack the weapon, would do no damage to the enemy themselves, but that would be what would happen on a successful hit. That's something that, if you wanted to allow this, the DM, then we could do that. But, anyway.
Golf?
Yeah?
Why do you have a figure with a 4 on your character?
Because that's my superiority die.
No, you just put it there to be...
Yeah, on the nose about it.
Okay.
Which we will get into later. So we also have the stacking critical once again. So for every 10 over your AC, or 10 over the enemy's AC, your attack roll is, you basically get a critical, which means you get to re-roll all your damage die again. So now we have the XP boost, and this is kind of the interesting part. Wrath has actually been giving, and no, not bashing on Wrath or anything, but Wrath has been giving us way too much XP. He's been giving us the encounter difficulty XP instead of the XP for the creatures themselves. The way that it's set up is a little bit weird in that you only get XP equal to the creatures you take out, regardless of the situation. So, for example, we take out 2 spiders together and take out 2 spiders but separately. We theoretically get the same amount of XP. And I find this a little weird, and Wrath kind of agreed, because you should get a little bit of a boost in XP for a tougher fight. So, what we've decided to do is the total XP awarded for an encounter is equal to 100 plus 10 times E%, where E is the number of enemies more than 1. So, I'll use an example for this. That previous spider fight, where we basically had multiple encounters with that same group of spiders, we took one out. So what we would do is, with that, we took one out and then retreated. So in this situation, we would have gotten 120% of that one spider's XP. We go back, fight both the spiders, take both of those out. We get 110% of the total of those 2 spiders. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So compared to what we were getting, which was like 1.5 times to 3 times as much XP, which is the encounter difficulty, the XP difficulty modifier, it's way less, but it's more than we would be getting under the rules. And for the moment, there's only one other thing which is different, which we will get to if it comes up, which it probably will eventually. So that's all the homebrew rules. Any thoughts, questions, concerns?
We need to kill more stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Anyway, so now I'd like to go over class changes. So we're now all level 3. And I know Toby changed stuff at level 2, so does anybody want to start out with what is now new with their class, like the archetype they went down? I can go if you guys want.
Show us how it's done.
Alright, so I went down the Battle Master archetype for the fighter. I gained proficiency in an artisan tool, specifically the smithing tool, so now I'm proficient with smithing tools. I also gain 4 superiority die, which are all d8s. They power my maneuvers, and I can pick 3 maneuvers. And actually, let me get to the fighter thing, because I'm going to use the actual book's definition instead of my abridged ones. So yeah, I get 4 of those. They replenish on a short rest. So my character is going to be very short rest oriented, because a lot of my abilities replenish on a short rest. So some of them require saving throws, which we get into if that actually happens. So I know 3 maneuvers. The 3 maneuvers I chose were maneuvering. So when I hit a creature with a weapon attack, I can expend 1 superiority die to maneuver one of my comrades into a more advantageous position. You can add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and you choose a friendly creature who can see or hear you. That creature uses its reaction to move up to half its speed without provoking opportunity attacks from the target of your attack. So, if one of you... Probably Yuma in most cases, but if one of you is like up close to an enemy and wants to make a ranged attack or something along those lines, or just doesn't want to be on the front line, I can then attack them, assuming that I hit, which eventually will become more and more likely. I can then spend the
Damn
die
equals
and
the
move them.
enemy, not you, by the way.
Yeah.
Because in your sentence, it made it look like attack your ally.
Okay, so you.
Which is kind of stupid.
Yeah. So I attack the enemy that's adjacent to, in this case, Yuma. And I can then move Yuma, and they do not get an opportunity attack. The next one I got is a menacing attack. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to frighten the target. You add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, which in my case is an 8 plus strength plus proficiency. On a failed save, it is frightened until the end of my next turn. So it's under the frightened condition, so it can't move any closer to me. As long as I'm in sight, it has disadvantage on almost all d20 rolls, I think. I don't remember exactly, but we'll have to figure that out. And then finally, my last one is the trip attack. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can expend 1 superiority die to attempt to knock the target down. You add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and if the target is large or smaller, it must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, you knock the target prone. So that's one way to knock an enemy prone that I now have at my disposal, without it being a full attack action. And that's about it. Who wants to go next?
I can do that.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, I'm at level 3. I'm going down the Bard College of Lore, which gives me proficiency with 3 skills of my choice, so I now
like you
have...
need it anymore. Jeez.
Well, I tacked on, is that what happened, y'all freak? Or did I tack on the ones that I would add, or did I just add 3 more?
Both.
You
get your expertise. The +3 is from the College of Lore. The expertise is a Bard flat.
I gotcha. So, I don't remember exactly what I had before. I think what I did, I added...
Just tell all that you have right now.
Yeah, so
Makes
right
it
now I am
easier.
proficient in Acrobatics, Arcana, Deception, Intimidation, Perception, Performance, Persuasion, Religion, Sleight of Hand, and Stealth.
That's 10 for anyone counting.
Yep, that is 10 things that I'm proficient in.
And
Out of
18.
18.
Not including
18.
initiative, which he still gets half his thing in anyway. So yeah, everything else all his other skills, he's half proficient in. And then you
because
also
of Jack of all trades.
Yeah, and then
which
you
I get
also
at level
have expertise. Do you remember what expertise does?
Yep, two of my skill proficiencies And my proficiency bonus is doubled. So I applied that to persuasion and stealth. So now my persuasion bonus is +7 and my stealth bonus is +7. So and I can do this again at level 6 and level 14.
No, level 10 only.
Well, your choice grants you features at 3. No, it says again at 6 and level 14. Oh, never mind. I was looking at the wrong thing.
No, that's expertise.
That's level 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, level 10.
I'm looking at it in the book.
Anyhow. Yeah, I'm looking at the book too. And I was reading the wrong thing.
Actually, it's a PDF.
It's of a book!
Yeah. It's like saying reading on a Kindle is not actually reading.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Well, it's like saying we're
okay, we get it.
I'm mostly reading ebooks anyway.
Semantics. Anyhow, the next thing I have at level 3 is cutting words, which means that when a creature that I can see within 60 feet of myself makes an attack roll, an ability check, or a damage roll, I can use my reaction to use one of my bardic inspiration dice and subtract it from the creature's roll. So I can use it after the creature makes its actual roll, but before Wrath determines whether or not it actually works.
So in this case, what we've decided to do is basically you would ask him what is the die roll, and he would give you the straight up die roll without any modifiers, and then you'd have to decide with that information whether or not you want to use it.
Yeah, the creature is immune if it cannot hear you, or if it's immune to being charmed.
Okay, so most elf-like creatures and creatures that actually can't.
Elf-like aren't immune to being charmed; they just have advantage.
No, there are some creatures.
There might be some, yeah, but
blood who are completely immune.
Yeah, some are.
There are also undead who are immune to charming.
Makes sense.
Yeah. No more dead people in basements.
Right. Next off, Toby.
Okay, at second level, I got the ability to for wild shape, meaning I could change into a beast form. Although at second level, I couldn't be anything flying or swimming. Nothing that was a flying or swimming animal. Primarily just a land animal. But I also joined a circle, the Druid Circle, and I joined the sorry, 1 second, just going on. Circle of the Moon. What that meant is that, in fact, that wild shape ability was no longer an extra action, but now becomes a No, it was an
action.
Yeah, now it's
a
bonus action, so I can do it without taking away from being able to do other things, right? So, and also because of that, it means that I can take on a beast form that has a challenge rating as high as 1. So I'm assuming, Wrath, you know what that means more than I do.
You could become one of the spiders.
There you go.
Basically, yeah.
It also, I can... with this ability of wild shape and being in the circle of the moon, okay, it says, while you are transformed by wild shape, you can use a bonus action to expend 1 spell slot to regain 1d8 hit points per level of the spell slot expanded. And that's really the only thing I get at level 3.
You get a couple of... Didn't you get a couple of new spells?
Oh yeah, okay, I'll go into that as well.
You have access to new spells, yeah.
Yeah. But as far as just specific druid abilities beyond the spells, I don't get anything extra until level 6. No, sorry, level 4 I can start doing swimming animals. Level 6 other things happen.
You can change it to a fish.
I could, or a shark.
If you see them.
That's true. That's true. So as far as spells, I don't have any more cantrips, still the same 2 as I had before, but I now have 6 spell slots that I can expend, and I have 6 slots that I can memorize. So 4 first level and 2 second level. So
actually,
far as
for what you can memorize, I'm pretty sure it's not...
You can memorize whatever you want to memorize, it's just that you only have 2 second level slots.
Yeah, you have 2 second level slots, just so you're clear. So
I can't memorize every level 1 spell and then just use 4 of them. You have to memorize certain ones. That's the way That's the way it was before. It used to be 5, and now it's up to 6.
It's yeah, you could do 6, but you could learn 6. You could memorize 6 level 2 spells.
If you want to.
Yes.
Which is
you
dumb.
only used to.
But
Yeah, because I can only cast 2
Right.
level 2
Yeah.
spells. Yeah. So, yeah.
We're on
okay.
the same.
Overall, though, I've got 6 slots that I can memorize,
Mhm.
and I've kept 5 of them in first level. So I've got Animal Friendship, which I had before, Cure Wounds, Entangle, Speak with Animals, and Thunderwave. They're all the same I had before, but I've added Lesser Restoration, and I'll is memorized, and so I can cast that twice. So that means I could cure poison, I could cure disease. There's a few other things I can do with it like that.
We have a healer, people.
I know, right?
Have a what?
You're a substitute
healer.
cleric.
Well,
Well,
semi-healer.
that's sort of what we need. That role kind of partially
Yeah.
filled, so that's what I'm trying to help out in that direction.
You,
So
you,
I think that's everything.
you can also memorize. I don't remember exactly. Can you also memorize Pass Without a Trace? I don't remember if that's level 2 or not.
Let me check my sheet.
Anyway, as you're doing that, we're gonna have Tommy go.
Sorry, what was that spell again?
Pass Without a Trace.
Okay.
So at the 3rd level, you had to choose an archetype for fighter, and I decided to choose champion, which at the 3rd levels allows my weapon to score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20, which hopefully should mean I crit more.
You need it.
Yeah. And it also allows me for when I use my second wind. It also allows me to hopefully gain more HP if I do need to use it in a fight, because it's plus your fighter level. What else?
I think that's about it.
Yeah, there's not much.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's it for the archetype.
Oh well, I can crit more.
Yeah, you doubled your chance of critting. That's
I know.
That's good.
And he already has
And
like,
then-
more crit hits on
And-
attack
and
roll than the rest of us combined.
I brought this up. We did not talk about this beforehand. Just so you know, we did not switch that. But with the Battle Master that knows trip attack, oh my gosh, does that become potent? Because if he's within 5 feet of an enemy that's prone, he gets advantage. So he has like a what? That's a 25. He has an insane amount of chance to hit now because he rolls 2 dice, takes the higher, and he needs a 19 or 20. So yeah, he has a 25%. No. Anyway, yeah, 25% chance to crit. Am I doing that right? He crits one.
It's a
Yeah.
1 in 10 chance twice.
It's a 1 in 10 chance twice, which would
So
be 2 in 10, so 20% chance of
20%,
critting,
1 in 5.
which is pretty legit. So
You know I'm not gonna crit now, right?
yeah.
Yep, you jinxed it. Thank you.
Anyway, I believe that's everything, unless the DM has something else to talk about.
Well, we already talked about everything, I think. Mboy was told the riddle after our session ended.
Mm-hmm.
You should have made him guess it.
Yeah, I wanted to, but
We
no.
would
Wolf
have
already
been.
told him.
I already told. Yeah, you didn't tell me quick enough. Plus, it took us 40 minutes. You really want to stay here another like 30 minutes to have one person figure it out?
I don't mind.
Anyway, so Wrath, I'm just gonna throw this out there. The reason why Yuma wasn't present is because she literally wasn't present because she went and got Rita.
Yeah, I agree. Seems legit.
Okay.
It only took 30 minutes to get her.
I know, right? She's just like taking her sweet time. Took her a while to get past the spiders. She's kind of creeped out by that.
The dead
There's
spiders.
spiders, of course. They're scary.
No, she's not like that.
No, she'd walk right
I
past
took out
them,
my
probably.
pipe. I took out my bubble pipe and then was in the bubbles along as I was going. Whee,
Took
pop, pop, pop.
it nice and easy while you were thinking the riddle, which you knew little about.
Yeah.
And when-
Intelligence is plus 1, so it's just like, probably not gonna.
By
help
the
much anyway.
time you got back, they figured out, and you were like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, so
Well, whatever.
so in that instance, real time was way slower than game time. So yeah,
No. Oh.
it still took us 40
You've
minutes.
been here for 40 minutes. Yep.
Oh boy.
Screw everything. You have been there for 40 minutes trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. Let's go.
Oh, okay, just before we start, you have Pass Without Trace as a spell, but I didn't have space for it. I thought the other ones were more important.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I'm just wondering, that would be a decent one to get.
Yes, that was the other one I was thinking of, but I ran out of slots.
Yeah,
spots.
totally cool.
All
Anyway.
right.